Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players, and Tesh Ordo here. Today, I'm going to be talking about my roster. I recently had a roster review from earlier this last week from Darth Kimchi, and I felt like, you know what, it's time to do a follow-up video. I just haven't had time to get it, and now I have a little bit of time. I'm going to take advantage of doing that. So he had quite a few different questions and so on and so forth. So I think this one is always one he always asks, but I missed the Discord message he sent me because I didn't see the @ tag because he doesn't do personal messages and stuff, which, yeah, I understand he's busy and all that. So honestly, Darth Kimchi, it's understandable. I just wish I had reached out when it was up to my turn. I noticed it, but I didn't want to be annoying to you at the same time. So it was kind of like a give or take type thing. I probably should have personally messaged you to say, hey, what questions do you have when it's, when you have it as my turn? And I could have probably provided those questions in the thing. Of course, granted, yes, I still wouldn't mind doing a live stream coverage. I know you have a tablet. Hopefully down the road you get something better, and I do hope that as well, because that's definitely gonna help you a lot. Granted, I wouldn't mind knowing what pro or app you use on your tablet, or I think you said it was a tablet. I don't know if it was an actual tablet or iPad, because they can go both ways. They're pretty much the same thing, just different brands and different programming systems in them between Apple and but let me know what app program do you actually use when you're recording. I just don't ever notice in the recordings. I just don't look for it. So, but let's get into it. So I know one thing he probably does ask is the name. So my name is Tesh Ordo. I am a big Mandalorian fan. So over the years of growing up, I graduated high school in 2008. And around that time, I was enjoying Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. And so, Candace Ordo definitely came to mind. So I definitely I've used the Ordo name quite a few times. Like my old Xbox 360 Xbox gamer tag was Ordo801st. And I've used various Ordo names. And then I got to the point of using Cassis Ordo for a while. And then I got to the point where I decided not to anymore. That was about 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, when I had my son, because I actually named him Cassis or Cassius. I named him Cassius, but it's the Cassis Fett kind of thing. So that was kind of fun. But in all honesty, though, Tesh came about when I was just like, I don't know what to name this character, and it was my first character that I created for Star Wars The Old Republic, and I was on one server that I don't even play on anymore, and then it's, I think, converted to a different one, and I was playing an agent. I'm like, I don't know what to name him, and I just clicked through the randomizer and I got Tesh from it. I'm like, sweet. So, and that's stuck with me, so I've just been Tesh Ordo for a long time since then, and I'm okay with it. It's been a lot of my gamer tags, and I actually have a Gmail that's named it. So it's stuck around that way. So that's my story about my name. But let's get into the roster. So I'm just going to quickly go over ships real quick. I did get Executor probably about the end of last year. Oh wait, Executor's up there. End of last year or something like that, and then I've been working on it since. It's been such a slow grind. 10 shards a month. Come on, CG. Like, after 6 months of it being out, it should go up to 25, maybe 30. Just to allow players to catch up, because it takes a year and a half or so just to get a 7-star. Because that's why I had the problem with Finalizer. It just took forever to get the Finalizer to 7-star, because it's 10 shards. That one should be at least 50 a month. Finalizer and Radis, it's been out so long, it should be up to 50 a month, so players can have a chance to get that ship. It's going to take me a good long time before if I ever wanted to go after Rey. I'm stuck because of this. This is my biggest hurdle for Rey. I am so far behind because you need a 5-star. I could get her to 4-star once I get my 7-star Raised Falcon. That's still taking forever too. That one should have been a 2, but yeah, what can you do? So yeah, that's Executor. I'm not going to go too much into ships. I do what I can with ships. My first order sucks. It does not carry me through any Executor battle at all. Just because, let's go look at the first order real quick. Look at all the relic levels. Once I'm done with Kenobi, once I'm done with Starkiller, I'm going after SLKR, so I can, and I'm going to go after the specific first order fleet characters first, so that I have, I won't go after the 2 Kylos. I'll take them up to Relic 7 last, because then I can save up the salvages and stuff for them. But I'll take all the other ones up, like the TIE Echelon. Heck yeah, I'm going to take that bad boy up to Relic 5. That way, he's tankier. So that's my little quick tidbit on my ships. So yeah. All right, now let's talk about the he did a top 300 club, or whatever it was called. And it was from Grief Karga and up. Grief Karga is my lowest. Padme is just right there. She's a sliver away. So if I ever, get a few extras and ever want to work on speeding her up, like if I want to speed her up to like 305, she'll join the 300 club. Unfortunately, she's not. So yes. So there's a few questions of characters. So for the bounty hunters, I do take on some stuff. A lot of times bounty hunters just take on the random lower stuff. I don't do anything with the Galactic Legend characters, just because my bounty hunters are garbage. Like my speed on Bosk, this is, solid, because I built him to be like a tanky tank. And now you want him to either be speed health or speed tenacity or speed defense with, protection all across the board to make him durable. And so that's why I just don't do anything. I haven't done anything with Bosk. Like I did recently get it to where Bosk was first, because I had Grief Karga going first, and you kind of want Bosk to go first, so you have that little chaining trick to go on. Aside from that, my Sith Empire is great. Sith Triumvirate is pretty solid. At least my Treya, I like her being pretty quick. Granted, if I wanted to, I could, I need to find a better arrow. So I just need to, work on some. That's going to take a bit. I do want more speed out of her, but so far she's pretty solid. Aside from, I do also want her at Relic 7 sometime. Let's see. Count Dooku's pretty quick. I just use him with the Newt teams. Nothing too fancy there. Let's see. He also commented and talked about Jedi Revan. Revan, yeah, I do fight some SLKR teams if I ever fight against them. I do tend to fight them in Territory Wars from time to time, but in Grand Arena, I'm fighting Kenobis and Lord Vaders and the occasional Rey. And there was one time I fought a C team, so I was like, Wampa Omicron, go! And I will eventually get that. I should either have that recording up before or after this post comes up. But yeah, there's a lot of characters. It's just, I have it. Well, I personally don't count the Galactic Legends. They are the part of the 300 club, but I don't count them because they'll always be the 300 club. They can never be less than 300, just because of how they're made. So, but my top 2 fast characters outside of GLs are Darth Revan. He's at 353. He was excited about that. He said he had a friend that had, I think, 355 or 358. I wouldn't mind pushing more speed on him, but that's going to be whenever I get the mods for it. But at the same time, I also got to get other characters faster. So Darth Revan's just going to stay where he's at. And same with Moff Gideon. He's 366. So yeah, Imperial Troopers I do have a lot of counters with Imperial Troopers. He also had question of the armor. This is a pretty solid armor. I definitely highly recommend Tenacity, so you can resist ability blocks. So in case you go against a, what's it called? Jedi Master Luke, and he does his AoE to ability block and breach, you can resist those. Boom, done. What's done is done. But yeah, armor is pretty solid in that regard as well. And then, of course, yes, One of my last two characters I'll talk about in the 300 Club is Rex. 322, pretty solid. I like him at that speed. I do not mind having him faster. And then Grand Admiral Thrawn, 329. I personally, if I could have the mods and the know-how, I would swap out the speed set for another tenacity set. And I go tenacity, and health so I can have some more durability just to survive, as well as more tenacity, because I wouldn't mind more than 110% tenacity. Once he fractures, he goes up to 210%. That's nice. But until he fractured, this way he can actually survive some more debuffs or resist some more debuffs. Maybe just a full tenacity set with like high speed. That would be solid. Like, these two are 26. If I could get all these up to like the 25s, then I'd have a decent fast. Even if I cut back on, going down to like 325, still, I would be okay with that. But aside from that, that's, my 300 Club. He did talk about my Darth Vader, of course, which, don't blame him. Darth Vader's pretty solid. 281. I do want more speed on him, and wait, can I? Yeah. No, I can't. That's right. I'd have to find a mod to replace with the right stats just to get him there. So that's a process. Mods are a process. So, one other thing is he did touch on my Dash Rendar. He's pretty quick with his leadership or any other scoundrel leadership. He's pretty solid. I wouldn't mind getting him more, and I can get him more speed if I push some of these to gold. I'm pretty sure I can get an extra like 10, maybe 15 speed. And if I get him up to 345, close to where my Admiral Piet is, which he's at 349, he's going to be really quick. And that AoE daze is going to shut some things down. So, but yeah, that is just kind of where I'm at with those areas. But going through my roster, he touched a note on Visus Mar. Just so you guys know, she was a project character about 2 weeks, I think, before Starkiller was announced. I got her to Relic 4. Of course, I was still kind of off and on working on her mods. I'll talk about Tenacity in a sec, but I got her to Relic 4 because I saw in my plans, I was going through someone's list on SWGOH.gg of what teams they used to combat in 3v3, and it was like against either one of those lower geared teams or one of those GL requirement teams. Those little weak ones that people just throw because they're relict. Yeah, like the Rolo teams and stuff like that. But, he used his tenacity wasn't as high as mine. It was, I think, like 150, 140, something like that. But he used that Visus Mar and took that team out. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Because there is also this. If you have a decent amount of damage on her, she does this ignores protection part. And some characters drop. Like, if you've watched an old live stream from Urzatron, he relicked Visus up. I think his Visus was like, I think, closer to Relic 7. I don't remember the relic level. But he ended up like, it was a Gear 12 Palpatine. And he just like, I'm going to take this team on. And then the first time, because he was at full health and protection, first time he used this against that Palpatine, boom, dropped him. I'm like, nice. You drop one character, even though it's a Gear 12, that Gear 12 could still, trip you up a little bit. Of course, he was also using his, not Wampa Love, it wasn't a love, it was Beauty and the Beast team. Rex, Gamu, Gamorrean Guard, Visus, and a couple others. And he had that team took on that Palp Vader team. I don't know, I think a few others were relic, but pop it under. Boom, done. There you go. So yeah, and I could definitely see using this in 3v3 to solo some teams just because those teams are weaker and it saves you another actual team. On top of the fact, I went to Nasty just because of this part. I really, really hate the fact that I feel like she should say 100% counter chance, period. Granted, I wouldn't mind, a few more stats. That's definitely for another video. But yes, Visus definitely, that's why I went as high health and tenacity as I could. But I went more tenacity just so that I could counter and keep debuffs off of characters. So yeah, that's, those are some of the characters I've enjoyed, or I've taken care of. Like, I enjoy my Wampa. Let's see, where my Wampa go? Way up here. Wampa. I used to have him at high tenacity. Like, let's, throw the mods back on. I think it was, who did I give the mods to? Don't remember. Let's just go this route, for example. If I wanted to do something like this, boom, he's at about 187. I used to be the top player with the highest tenacity Wampa in the game. And then once the Omicron came out, someone beat me. And then I was like, you know what? I want some more health for some more durability so he can survive. So I did cut it back. I hated cutting back, but at the same time, I'm okay with it because, 226% tenacity with, his Omicron, solid. And then I have the health. Granted, I do still want some speed on him. Because if I can outrun a team and slap the AoE down on the enemy, I never lose that bonus protection. I get to a sliver and then I top it back up every time. I could get that extra point, and so it doesn't hurt. Granted, there are a lot of teams that will outrun him still, so there's that to keep in mind. But yeah, I've enjoyed working on my Wampa, and he's still kind of a work in progress. But I'm working on. I had to remod Sith Eternal so I could try to counter Master Kenobis. Yay! So, yeah. But yeah, I have a pretty solid roster. I had a high mod count. I had just everything that I could think of. Like I do have a bulk. Because at the start I did, bulk up because once territory battles, it was before Territory Wars, and I don't remember if it was before Grand Arena. It's been forever. Everything's blurred. But territory battles, you wanted a good amount so you can help your guild get up to that next star sometimes. Like even right now with the light side GOTB, and for some guilds, the dark side GOTB, you need more GP to get up there. And now you can, bolster your GP because Grand Arena kind of took that away for the most part. And when you first start, and yeah, I've had some horrible Grand Arenas. My loss rate has gone up since this reworked of Grand Arena. My first 3 rounds, I went 3-0, and then I started doing my normal 2-1 or 1-2, but then I hit a 0-3 for my first time because of this new change. I was like, ouch. And that was because I was fighting people with 5 GLs. It sucks. Can't counter all of them. My roster is not that great. Like if I had all the way down to maybe here, relicked up, plus my favorites, I'd probably be in a better state. So, also Cam's getting close. He needs 15 more shards and I'm good to go. Which I gotta wait till next month to get him. And then I'll eventually take him up, and by then I should have Kenobi. So, yeah, my roster's kind of bulked up from then. But aside from that, I've enjoyed my grind. Also, I want to make mention of my high tenacity. So far, at the time of this recording, the last time I looked, my Darth Nihilus is the highest tenacity in the game. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries to beat me because they're like, ooh, let's whale out. But honestly, and even then, like, I look at that beautiful 13.24% tenacity on that. Lovely. Now I want to take that to gold so I can roll the health and protections. Hopefully the percentages. But I went tenacity on Nihilus just for his turn meter, as well as if I ever used Sith Trio without Sith Eternal, and I lose Darth Treya, he's not going to get ability blocked as easily. So that's why I do that, because there's been times he's carried me through a territory battle in the dark side GOTB. He finishes that last round off because he's AoE, Drain Force, Annihilate, boom, boom, boom. So, but aside from that, that's kind of my thought, or, where my roster is right now. I'm trying to remember other questions at the time because it's been quite a few days since I watched it even the second time. But yeah, thanks for that, Darth Kimchi. I really appreciate it. It was fun, listening to, you go through my roster, be like, hey, this is awesome. But yeah, right now, GL wise, I'm going for Kenobi. I'm going for Starkiller, just like, they're kind of going to be really close, as you could tell. Like, the first 4 characters, all I need to do is take them to their required relics, 8, 7, 8, and 5. Of course, I'm doing Bo-Katan first, just to get her out of the way, and then I'll work on the others. So yeah, 8, 5, and 8, or 8, 7, and 8, and then And then while I'm working to farm Kenobi, I will be finishing up Kyle Katarn to Relic 5, as well as, try to get Mara Jade and Darth Talon closer. And then I'll work on Kenobi, of course. So once those guys are done. And then, yes, if you noticed, I have a couple of Bad Batch. They're actually, while I'm working, because I have all my first order requirements to 7-star. So all I need, even the ship too. And all I need to do is just work towards Kylo after that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be farming for Bad Batch. So at least once Kylo's done, Bad Batch will be relicked up. And then after that, I will take a break on going after GLs and big characters. And I'm going to be touching up some characters. Like, here's what I'm talking about. So after them, I'm going to take these first Sith trio with Savage and Sith Trooper to Relic 7. I'm obviously Bad Batch is going to be a part of that, during that time frame, because I'm still going to be farming them. I'm going to take some of these characters, like I'm going to take Dark Trooper to Relic 7. I'm going to take the other Imperial Troopers to at least Relic 5. Probably just Relic 7, Dark Trooper, not 8, just because resources, yay. I'm going to take some of these other bounty hunters to all these bounty hunters to Relic 5. Granted, Zam and Embo's at 5, that's great, and then he's set up for Lord Vader whenever I go after Lord Vader, which he'll probably be next, because by the end of the year, I'm probably still going to be farming the finalizer, so Rey is going to be out of the question. I'm going to actually, weirdly enough, be closer to Lord Vader than Rey. Even though I got a Relic 8 a bunch of characters. And then by then, at least I'll have Bad Batch. So at that point, I might as well start going after Lord Vader after this. But I do want to take at least these 2 tanks to Relic 9. And then some of these characters to at least Relic 8. And the resources are going to deplete. And then I'm going to at least take Relic 7 these characters. Just because I want Qui-Gon to kind of survive. Because his plan is, a lot of times your plan is to let Qui-Gon die. And then let Jedi Anakin do his big AoE. However, if you get to the point where you can't kill Qui-Gon and the rest of the high damage from Jedi Anakin, and if you have Ki-Adi-Mundi, which I would go Qui-Gon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Mace or GK, Barriss, and Jedi Anakin, then that's a team they have to double, maybe even triple tap before they can, kill it off. So yeah, and throwing Barriss in there with the Ki-Adi-Mundi high health gain, great. Granted, I still need to work on Qui-Gon Jinn's mods, work on speeding them up, giving them offense, probably going offense health sets so I can at least have some more health on them, so I can kind of do that combo. And then, of course, Jolie, Relic 7, why not? He's a healer, duh. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with my roster at this point in time. Finishing up these guys, and then Inquisitors, if I do work on an Inquisitor, it'll be the ship one, the ship lady. I think it's the Seventh Sister. No, not the Seventh Sister. What am I thinking? The Second Sister. Gosh, too many sisters. I would like to have them add more brothers. They need still the 5th brother. But anyways, and of course I wouldn't be surprised they eventually decide to bring in their fleet, their ships, and that's probably where they'll go under Tarkin. So Thrawn will have the main Imperial fleet, where the Inquisitorius may go under Tarkin. Could be interesting to see. Who knows? But yeah, Second Sister, I'll probably just take her to... I'll eventually, 7-star, maybe just take her to Gear 11, Gear 12, and then just leave her. Because, except I won't do that until I have the ship unlocked, which that's... half the time I'm just too busy to even work on the... This is where I'm at, and I'm going to go up, I think, 30 to 35 more after. So yeah, the grind on Conquest is garbage. So, but aside from that, any questions about my roster, please put them in the comments below. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Darth Kimchi, for having me on. I hope to do it maybe in a year or so, whenever you're able to do a live stream. We can go over my roster, maybe kind of do a roster comparison kind of thing and see where each of us are at. I know I'm ahead of you a little bit in some areas, and that's fine. I'm not trying to brag about that, but honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool to see kind of where our ideas stem from, because I know you want to do that too. So you can be like, okay, why did you choose this character over this character, or this GL over this GL? And we can kind of discuss that. and go from there. And I will probably do, in a few months, I'll probably do another roster review once I get Kenobi out, and kind of, talk about it outside of like the questions and relation to Darth Kimchi's channel. Aside from that, thank you for watching. Really appreciate all those that watch videos make, and you guys have a phenomenal day.